everyone on this beautiful, crisp fall morning. Do we have anyone visiting for the very first time? No, just good friends. Please turn off your cell phones as it may disturb the service. Our at-one-man reader is Cynthia Greer, and our guest musician is Joy Truskowski. Cynthia.
All right.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I love the Joy song. It's so wonderful. I'm going to read from it at 1 minute that's pretty old, like me. Sometimes I just get this out and open it somewhere, and it generally just hits whatever I need. Fear has no place in our divine makeup. Nona L. Brooks. I overcome any fear through my indwelling God as I turn expectantly to it. Because God is ever present, God always gives me the courage and the strength and the wisdom to meet each day. The Infinite One is ready to express through me as greater life, harmonizing love, understanding, and abundant good. I feel a new surge of energy flowing into my body and my mind. I still any thoughts of fear and place my confidence in the integrity of God. I drop all of yesterday's appearances of fear and stand free in today's truth. What a joy to watch the darkness of fear fade away as the light shines around me. I rejoice and give thanks as I move into a new, positive way of life. I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Psalms 23:4.
Our first hymn is number 12, Lord Bless This House. Please rise as you're able.
Good morning.
Good morning, Maria.
Oh dear. Excuse me, I have to tend to the plumbing. Okay, live. Too alive. So we revisit the Bible and pluck some other gems out of it. I don't know how many of you read the Bible, but this is an opportunity to move back to it, to the central issues that it talks about in life, that help us all, really. Now, these quotes are from Psalms, the 145th Psalm, 16th and 18th verses. Thou openest thy hand and satisfieth the desire of every living thing. The Lord is nigh unto all them that call upon him, to all that call upon him in truth. In truth. Now that's what you have to kind of define. So how do you call upon the Lord in truth? Well, you don't beg. There isn't any thought in your head that might entertain the feeling that, God's not available. Or I have to beg him. Or I have to persuade him somehow to listen to what I need, to speak to my anxieties or fears or illness or whatever. No, we don't beg, never. We always go to God in truth, and that is knowing his nature. We know that nature that is perfection, that is total good, that is abounding in everything that it creates, that is love in action, that is wisdom at all times and all places. That's what we know the truth to be. And we talk to God on that basis, the basis of, I know you are available to me anytime, any place. And I thank you, like Jesus did. Thank you in advance for the manifestation of whatever it is that will solve the problem, that will ease the burden, that will just cool my mind down so that I'm not anxious about something. So, the Lord is nigh unto all them that call upon him, to all that call upon him in truth. We're calling. And what does it say? It says, thou openest thine hand. The abundance is there. Right there. And satisfieth the desire of every living thing. Beautiful words. Now we know how to approach him in truth. We don't have any doubts that it's going to work out. It's going to be taken care of. God's in charge. I don't know, we have a little person at the back of the room, but when a child comes up to you and looks up in your face and says, I want something, help me, Mommy or Daddy or whoever, of course you're going to do whatever you can for that child. And that's what we do with God. We go to him in perfect confidence it's going to be taken care of, just as a child does. That's the truth. The truth is the availability of good when we turn to him and keep turning to him and keep on keeping on. Oh, thank you, Dr. Gregg. He was the one who said that wonderful thing that has stuck in my mind all these years. God's delays are not God's denials. I've said it so many times, haven't I? But that's okay. Keep saying it again. Keep reminding you as I keep reminding myself. God's delays are not God's denials. It may be a while in coming, but it will be taken care of in its own perfect time and perfect way. Well, we give thanks to the psalmist. They say that David wrote all the songs. He did, but he wrote a lot of them. I don't know if he did that one or not, but whoever wrote it wrote words of truth. And we thank them this day. We thank that writer for the nugget of truth, the beauty of assurance that his hand is open, always. Shall we say our divine science statement of being? You'll find it in your orders of service. God is all, both invisible and visible. One presence, one mind, one power is all. This one that is all is perfect life, perfect love, and perfect substance. I am the individualized expression of God, and I am ever one with this perfect life. perfect love, and perfect substance.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Joy.
This is Doug Marion. He is performing too. And this is a song, I don't know if you've ever read the book or seen the movie Into the Wild, but Eddie Vedder wrote songs for the soundtrack, and I've played this song here before, but this is the first time I'm playing it with Doug for you guys. But it's called Rise, and it's about facing challenging situations in your life and rising up, having that faith. And it's meaningful to me because we've gone through lots of challenging situations together, and we rose up from it, as I'm sure you all have too. So. Ready? Such is the way of the world, you can never know just where to put all your faith and how will it grow. Gonna rise up, burning black holes and dark memories. Gonna rise up, turning mistakes into gold. Such is the passage of time, too fast to fall. Suddenly swallowed by signs, lo and behold. Gonna rise up, find my direction magnetically. Gonna rise up, throw down my ace in the hole.
For our healing meditation, if someone would bring the prayer box up to the front of the room. Thank you so much. We take your wishes for prayers very seriously. They're very important to us. And let's just physically relax and take a deep breath and relax yet more, making sure that our faces, our shoulders, our arms and hands, our backs, stomach, legs, and feet are relaxed. We scan them one more time. And let it all go. Let ourselves be what we are. Be all that God intended. And what did He intend? That we should see life as an opportunity to give of all that we are to everyone in every place we can. To leave life a little better than we found it. To leave a place better or people better than we found them. With a word of encouragement or kindness, love, just in a little different form. So in today's silence, we remember what the psalmist did. He promised that outspread hand, the openness of God, the willingness of God, the creativity of God in the midst of us. And let us put whatever has filled our mind of late, something we mentally gnawed on and circled, tried to find an answer to, and perhaps allowed ourselves to become frustrated about. Let us put that very thing into the open hand of God. Here, I give it to you. I've tried and I don't know how to handle it, what to do. But you do, Father. And I give it to you in absolute confidence and trust, that which created me and everyone else. That which created this world with its immense complexity of vegetable and animal and mineral and insect worlds, aquatic worlds. That which knows how to create anything and everything and bring it forth in its perfection and beauty, can handle whatever I put in that hand. We affirm this truth for all those people who are on our Valley Community Church prayer list. We resoundingly affirm this truth that God and God good is coming forth from the things where we see problems. the midst of a political situation, great heat and little light, we put that into God's hands. We know that the leadership around the world is being gently influenced, moved in the right direction so that greater peace flowers in this world. We know that the protecting, loving hand of God is with all of our armed forces, no matter where they serve, in this country or in far-flung places around the world. And we absolutely know it for ourselves. God within and without, God with that open hand, accepting whatever troubles, whatever worries, whatever frustrates, whatever causes impatience, whatever might cause hopelessness or fear. In the 90 seconds of silence that we're going to have right now, let us leave that difficulty right there and begin giving thanks that God, in all His majesty and might and love, is caring for you and whatever troubles. Give thanks. Thanks. Come unto me, all ye who labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. And we have put whatever causes us to labor or feel heavy laden into that open hand. And we trust. We trust. And give thanks. Thank you, thank you, thank you, dear God. Amen. My talk today is entitled, Living Where God Lives. Well, we're going to mosey down memory lane just a little bit. Okay? Because this is the 36th year that we've been in our church, and it's the 50th year Divine Science has been in Roanoke. And as anybody who's read the website has seen, or been here on an anniversary has heard, it all started in Ebba Polfeld's living room. It was the fall of 1966, and there were maybe 8 or 10 people sitting around reading the textbook, Divine Science, Its Principle and Practice, and then afterwards we would enjoy coffee in these little delicate demi-tasse cups of Ebba's, and with her crisp, very lovely ginger cookies. It was a wonderful way to start a life, really, spiritual life. But after the book group got too big to comfortably fit into Ebba's living room, we moved down to a rented room in the Patrick Henry Hotel. And after 13 years there, 5,000 Carriage Drive became our permanent home. You know, it's kind of odd, but it's very encouraging that 2 weeks before that first meeting that I attended the second meeting, actually. 2 weeks before that, I was driving down Grand Road Extension, and I don't know for what reason, I asked the universe, what's the next step? I was 33. I had 4 children between the ages of 3 and 8. I was helping my husband in his business, and I was a busy person. I didn't have any idea what I was asking. So, don't for a minute think that the universe doesn't hear and respond in both subtle and profound ways to everything you think or say. God knows it all. We are, after all, a part of a divine mind, a universal presence, a divine love, an activity, a plan, a purpose that is moving us step by step to a greater realization, an expression of what we already are. Isn't it wonderful to know that? We are His children, we are His image, we are individualized expressions of God, and we are all taking that in, that truth, making it part of ourselves. Now, people give me credit for building this church, but that credit is misplaced. It was the people who attended who did it. Now, some of those names, these names are going to be unfamiliar to you because you just haven't been around that long, but I don't know if you ever heard of Julius Horvath, or Jesse Pert, or Steve and Ruth Lucia. They were there when there were only 5 of us. 17 people built this church, 17. But it was Bill Hauser, actually, who did the major part of the work. And Frank Van Balen provided so much support and leadership through so many years. There have been wonderful people, loyal people who've given of their time and talent and treasure. And they made possible what we enjoy today, a lovely church and debt-free property. Yeah. I think that most of us can look back, those of us who've been around a while, can look back and see so many good things that have happened in the past. On the other hand, if you've been here a while, you probably, and it's important not to fall into the trap, we can think back to negative events and people. Some of us can remember years the church spent hanging by its fingernails, its financial fingernails, with a large mortgage to pay on every month. We can recall people who attended here, but who brought more strife than peace with them. But that's the past. We don't dwell on that. And not speaking about the church, but speaking about us personally, we might find ourselves dwelling on thoughts about negative things in our past. Maybe maybe bouts of illness or bad decisions we made, or mistakes we made just because we didn't consider the consequences of those decisions. Self-talk about the past can be filled with regret and guilt and pain. It can be very, very critical of the things that we have done in the past. It can be judgmental of other people's acts or words, what they did. But truth be told, we're not going to allow ourselves to live in the past because it just is not helpful. It isn't. Although on church anniversaries, it's okay to go back, walk those old paths for a few minutes. Huh? But how about the future? It's okay to think about the future, surely, isn't it? Now, naturally, our church looks forward to greater growth, to more prosperity, to an opportunity to be of greater service to people, and most especially for those people who come here on a regular basis, that they learn to feel closer and closer to God, to a loving God, to feel infinitely more joyful about what and who they are spiritually, and how we are all moving step by step, moment by moment, to greater and greater glory, because that is our future. But then there, personally, if we go back, go forward into our own future, most of us look forward to it. Oh, there might be some challenges ahead, but we'll be strengthened, we'll be led, we'll be protected if there's a proviso. There's a proviso. Isaiah 26:3 says, "Thou wilt keep him in perfect peace whose mind is stayed on thee, because he trusteth in thee." Our future might have its rocky places, but we can live in a continuing sense of inner peace when we know, when we internally, mentally dwell on the spiritual truth that God and good are right here. They are within us, right now. And we trust that that good is going to be manifesting. It can't help but manifest. Now, we absolutely do not want to be suckered into negative mental spaces about the future. If we are not careful, though, we can begin thinking things like, oh, what if I don't get this? What if it goes wrong and I fail? What would other people think and say? What if life is just more of the same old, same old? What's going to happen? What's going to happen to the economy, to my home, or my car, my health, my friends, the health of the people I love? What's going to happen? Am I going to have enough money? What's going to happen to me when I get old? Will I have needs then? You know, thoughts about the future can be as negative as thoughts about the past, if we allow it, which we don't. We don't. Especially when we remember the body-mind continuum, that every thought has a corresponding chemical reaction in the body, then we recognize that every negative thought is harmful. It impacts the body. Thinking about the future negatively can cost us physically. We don't want that. Oh, that's why it's so much better not to dwell in either the past or the future. So what's the alternative? Living where God lives. Living where God lives. Living right here, right now, in the now. Anniversaries aside, it's okay that we're celebrating one today. We need to focus on life right here. That can be harder than it might sound, actually, especially if a sizable amount of our mental attention is taken up in the past or in the future. If we find ourselves filled with ideas about either past or future, well, it leaves unavailable the mental space to experience the things that are happening right here, right now, in the present. We don't hear the sounds of the birds. We don't hear the wind. We don't see the beauty of a sunset. We don't notice the mood of our partner, our friend, our spouse. We don't notice our own emotions or how even our body feels. We're tuned out. We're in our heads thinking about things. We don't taste our food. We just kind of eat it automatically. We don't really taste it. We don't savor the appreciation that we should have of the blessings and the beautiful things that are all around us, that here, right here, to be seen and noticed and enjoyed. We need to reclaim the freedom, the peace of living where God lives. And for God, all time is now. Now. We might talk about it a little differently. We might say it's being fully present here, but seeing and feeling and hearing and enjoying the good that's in every moment. And you begin to get a glimpse of how different life can be, how wonderful it is if we live this way. But even more than increasing our happiness quotient, and it absolutely does, dwelling mentally in the present enhances our spiritual life greatly. Now, what's interesting is that ancient spiritual traditions have always had focusing on the present. That was all a very important spiritual practice. All the Jewish prophets, as well as John the Baptist and Jesus himself, spent time away from the crowds. They went out into the wilderness, into the desert. Why? So they could be alone. There would be no distractions. They could be in the present moment with God. It's exactly the same with Christian traditions also. Why do they have monasteries and convents? But to allow people a place to be silent for many hours a day, to be in prayer, to be in the present moment with God. Where is God? He's here. He's now. He's inside. He's outside. He's everywhere. God is never at some future time or at some past time. For him, there is only now, and that is an eternal now. We make contact with God only in the present. Think about it. We contact him in the present moment. If we're sitting at our kitchen table, we're relaxed and we have a sense of peace and gratitude for a meal we might have eaten, or for just looking around the room and having a sense of peace and relaxation. That's living where God lives. Look at a flower or a plant, or see the trees across the street or out a window, or see the sky, see a mountain, feel the comfort of the clothes on your body, or smell the food cooking. Be here now. Know that God is right here in the midst of this. Practice being in the present moment, and you will live more deeply, more fully, more happily, in a more relaxed state, and certainly more spiritually. I can't name the author of this. I don't even know where I got this lovely little piece, but I've had it a long time, and I wanted to share it with you today. I was regretting the past and fearing the future. Suddenly my Lord was speaking. My name is I Am. He paused. I waited. He continued. When you live in the past with its mistakes and regrets, it is hard. I am not there. My name is not I was. When you live in the future with its problems and fears, it is hard. I am not there. My name is not I will be. When you live in this moment, it is not hard. I am here. My name is I am. I have copies of that little thing. I'll give to those who would like it after the service. I've heard some people sometimes try to describe the life that they are trying to live as monks without monasteries and nuns without nunneries, or in the world but not of it. Some of us have sincerely tried to make the spiritual a part of our everyday life. We try to behold the good. We try to see the presence of God in every person and place and thing. We work at that. With the exception of anniversaries. And I am very proud of the 36 years that we have been here. Let's commit ourselves to not living in the past, not allowing ourselves to dwell there, or living in the future, some imagination of perhaps difficulties. But by being happier and healthier and more deeply spiritual than ever before, by living where God lives, which is right here, right now. Shall we go within? And stilling ourselves, feeling our bodies, and being grateful for them. Feeling grateful for so many things in our lives. The things that will unfold this afternoon and tonight and tomorrow. Some challenging things, yes, but so many rewarding things. Friendships, love, understanding, peace, good. And all from the hand of God, whether we see it or not. Father, gratitude. Gratitude fills our minds and fills our hearts. For you are the author of every good, and we are living where you live, right here, right now. Thank you that it is so. Amen.
I forgot to say happy anniversary. It's a happy anniversary. This is kind of a Disney song that I wrote. It's like, it sounds like a Disney song, so I call it my Disney song. And I don't know that I've ever played it for you before, but animals really know how to live in the present. You see birds, you see squirrels there in the present. And this is what animals might say to us. They wanted to give us spiritual advice. This is called Your Survival. food for your survival. I just fly outside and eat off a tree. My food's all around me. You think the whole world needs you, and then you stammer and you stumble. You're fighting the hand that feeds you. You better learn to be humble. You think the whole world needs you, and then you stammer and you stumble. You're fighting the hand that feeds you. You better learn to be humble. So you don't have flight, but you walk upright. That's so good for your survival. Face a beast or a gun, how fast can you run? 4 legs would sure help you a ton. You might think I'm a savage beast. I hunt for my survival. But you wave your flags and you wage your wars. What are you killing each other for? I think the whole world needs you, and then you stammer and you stumble. You're fighting the hand that feeds you. You better learn to be humble. You think the whole world needs you, and then you stammer and you stumble. You're fighting the hand that feeds you. You better learn to be humble. You dump toxic waste all over the place. That's no good for our survival. For gas, you'll frack the mountain to the core. Guess what? You need water more. You might think you're big machines, ensure your survival. But the nuclear bomb puts us all on the brink. Maybe you're not as smart as you think. You think the whole world needs you, and then you stammer and you stumble. You're fighting the hand that feeds you. You better learn to be humble. You think the whole world needs you, and then you stammer and you stumble. You're fighting the hand that feeds you. You better learn to be humble. You better learn to be humble. You better learn to be humble.
Now it's time for the blessing of the gifts. Today, I acknowledge God, omnipresent, as the source of all good, as the source of my good. With this acknowledgement, I accept His will, which is abundance in every aspect of my life. I release all thoughts of lack and limitation, and I am open and receptive to the increased flow of abundance to me right now. I joyfully accept the gifts of life and give freely of the special gift that I am. Through me, God omnipresent blesses and multiplies this gift for all. Thank you, dear God.
Now, would you turn to one another and say, thank you for your gift to God's Word?
Thank you.
Your gift to God's Word.
Thank
World
you.
of work. I have no idea. Thank you. I heard world. I hear you. I'm right there with you. Right at the end of sentences.
And now I'm going to pass the prayer basket and ask those of you who are interested in doing so to take a name and pray for them throughout this week. It's a blessing to you and a blessing to them as well. And for those who do not wish to, there's no pressure to be involved. But we thank you for passing it on to others.
Good morning. These announcements short. Just a reminder that we're still collecting shoes for the Ram House to the end of the month. We're also collecting coats for the rescue mission to the end of the month. So we have places over at the annex to put those things in. So if you have any shoes or jackets, coats, whatever, please do that, and I'll get them down there after the end of the month for both of those places. This week's flowers are for the church anniversary, so feel free to take some. And as you know, we're going next door to eat as soon as church is over. For ones that are not going, we did make coffee and so forth, so you can have something in there to snack on. Also, they know we're coming, so it's already planned. They know ahead of time, so just tell them when you get over there. Also, we need, we're going to start another list at the beginning of the year, rotating on the list that we have. We have a special list, and we have a pulpit assistant list, and a reader list, and a nursery list, and most of the same people are on all the lists, and it makes it kind of difficult sometimes. Sometimes the same person is supposed to do all three things at one time. So if anybody would like to volunteer to get on one of these lists, or all of them, it certainly would help us a lot. It would be greatly appreciated if you would even consider doing, even if you want to do something just one time a year, we will work that out too. But anyhow, if you would consider doing that, we'd greatly appreciate it, because sometimes it does get difficult when you have to do all of them at one time. Feel free to take these orders of service, because they do have all their events listed on them, and you can always print more, so feel free to take these so you'll have them. Speaking of events, we're going on the bike ride next Saturday, again to the Creeper Trail for the fall beauty, hopefully. So anybody that's going, please see Kate today, because she has to make reservations this week for that trip. So we don't know what time we're leaving yet till we find out how many people are going and all that stuff. Also, let's see, we have our board meeting was not last week. We're having it this week, 4 o'clock tomorrow in the annex. So everybody is welcome to come if you would like to do that. Other than that, I think that's all I have. Other than, you want to say anything about Evan? Or you want to?
No, not right now.
Okay. Okay. We're still in the process of selling tickets. Oh, you want to say something? Okay. Go ahead.
Not about Evan, when you're finished.
Okay. All right. As we said, we're celebrating their anniversary today, and I've been here 20 years, not as long as a lot of other people, but this church has made changed my life a lot. And for that, I thank all of you all, and especially you, Maurita, because it's been just changed my life a lot, and I appreciate it. So, anyhow, I hope everybody can come next door and eat. Oh, I'm sorry.
My family. I want to say that having children here in our congregation is kind of new for the past few years anyway. It touched my heart when Jan was talking about how this place has changed her. And I'm happy for children the age of Edwin and Kylie to have their lives changed now because of you. So thank you for being patient with them. We're trying maybe those of us on the list to take them down after the special music, right when the meditation starts, because they really can't be quiet during that. And then maybe to come back up for a final hymn or whatever. So thank you for being patient with them. I know they make noise and play with their toys and say, Mommy, book, or whatever. But thank you for being patient with them. I'm excited that we have some very young, tiny, little, fresh lives that can be changed from the beginning. So I just wanted to thank you for that.
Our closing hymn will be number 96, Open My Eyes That I May See.
With